This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
Oil prices rose on Thursday, adding to solid gains in the previous session on persisting concerns over Middle Eastern supply following disruptions at a field in Libya and heightened tension around the Israel-Gaza war. Brent crude rose 38 cents, or 0.5%, to $78.63 a barrel by 0440 GMT, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures rose 52 cents, or 0.7%, to $73.22. Both benchmarks rose by around 3% to settle higher for the first time in 5 days on Wednesday, with WTI seeing the biggest daily percentage gain since mid-November.
OPEC said on Wednesday cooperation and dialogue within the wider OPEC Plus producer alliance will continue, after OPEC member Angola last month said it would quit, and that it plans a February 1st meeting to review implementation of its latest oil output cut. Continued cooperation within the OPEC and allies such as Russia will benefit all producers, consumers and investors, as well as the global economy at large, OPEC said in a statement. Angola said on December 21st that it will leave OPEC from this month, a decision that prompted a drop in oil prices and that some analysts said raised questions about the unity of both OPEC and the wider OPEC Plus alliance.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
The U.S. is seeking to buy up to 3 million barrels of U.S.-produced sour crude oil for delivery in April to help replenish the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, SPR, the Department of Energy said in a statement on Wednesday. President Joe Biden's administration is slowly purchasing oil for the SPR after it sold a record 180 million barrels from it in 2022 to help fight high oil prices after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The department has bought back about 13.8 million barrels at an average price of $75.63 a barrel, nearly $20 a barrel less than it sold the oil for in 2022, and has sped up the return of nearly 4 million barrels from loans to oil companies.
China's 2023 steel exports are forecast to have hit a 7-year high of more than 90 million metric tons, the China Iron and Steel Association, CISA, said in a report on Wednesday. The world's top steelmaker exported 67.32 million tons in 2022. Rising exports come against weak demand at home, reflecting a struggling property sector and competitive pricing helped by a weak yuan for most of the year. China's steel product exports stood at 82.66 million tons in the first 11 months, up 35.6% from the same period a year earlier, customs data showed. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. China's 2023 steel exports are forecast to have hit a 7-year high of more than 90 million metric tons, the China Iron and Steel Association, CISA, said in a report on Wednesday. The world's top steelmaker exported 67.32 million tons in 2022. Rising exports come against weak demand at home, reflecting a struggling property sector and competitive pricing helped by a weak yuan for most of the year. China's steel product exports stood at 82.66 million tons in the first 11 months, up 35.6% from the same period a year earlier, customs data showed.
Gold prices rose on Thursday as the dollar edged lower, while investors looked out for more U.S. jobs data to gauge the Federal Reserve's next steps on its monetary policy. Spot gold was up 0.3% at $2,047.19 per ounce, as of 0659 GMT, after hitting its lowest since December 21st on Wednesday. U.S. gold futures rose 0.6% to $2,054.50 per ounce. The dollar index ticked down by 0.1%, making gold more attractive for other currency holders.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Indonesia has set this year's sugar import quota at 4.77 million metric tons for industrial use, a trade ministry official said on Thursday, up from a quota of 3.6 million tons in 2023. Sugar import quota for household use is set at 708,609 tons in 2024, said the ministry's Director General of Foreign Trade Budi Santoso, compared with last year's 991,000 tons quota. That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.